Good afternoon and welcome. Today's session will continue with our topic, that is sentences. Yes. So, till where have we completed? Did we finish direct and indirect object? Yes.
No, ma'am.
Last week we have seen the kinds of sentences.
Yes.
And we have seen we have seen subject, verb, and object, right? We have to start
Yes.
now direct and indirect object, right? Inshallah, we'll start today. Yes. So, do you want me to review the sentences?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So we'll go straight to the direct and imperative. Did we discuss imperative? What is imperative? When you use the base form of the verb, that is called as imperative. Did I discuss this imperative in the class?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Request and order.
Yes, we have seen till here also, right? When you want to say some thing to somebody in a polite manner or polite way, you can use do, please, and would. Yes. So we have done this exercise also. I remember now. Yes. Now, so we will start with the subject and the object. We'll see this in detail. Okay. So what's the subject? See,
Doer.
in each sentence, yes, in each sentence, you'll find subject, verb, and object. An object may or may not be there, okay, sometimes. So, what is subject actually, and what is the object? What's the difference? Subject. This usually we see
Starting.
at the beginning of the
Starting.
sentence. Yes, beginning of the sentence. An object is something which you
At the
see
end of
at
the
the end of the end of the
sentence.
sentence. And subject is doer. DOER, okay, doer of action, or somebody or something which does the action. Okay, so that's called the subject. And object is the receiver, or the person or somebody, okay, animal or thing, whoever receives, okay, receiver or somebody who receives the action of the subject is known as the object, and it appears at the end of the sentence. This appears at the beginning of the sentence. Okay, so these are the points of differentiation between subject and the object. All right.
Yes.
Yes, for example, see, this house belongs to me. So this house, yes, so that's the subject. Belongs is the verb over here. To me, okay, me over here is object. All right. Yes. Now, let's see some more sentences. Let's go to this definition. The subject of a sentence sometimes does something to someone or something else. The person or the thing that receives the action is called the object. All right. So that's the definition, okay, meaning of the subject and the object. Now see, dad is cooking supper. All right. So what's the subject over here? Can anyone tell me in this sentence I'm talking about?
That.
Yes, that is the subject. And what's the verb over here?
Cooking.
Is cooking, okay? Is helping
Present.
verb? Cooking, yes, cooking, continuous tense. So is cooking is the verb part and supper is the object. Okay, now coming to supper, what's a supper?
Salan.
No, supper is not salan. I'll tell you. Okay. What's the morning meal known as? Called as morning meal of the day.
Breakfast.
Afternoon meal.
Lunch.
Lunch. And evening meal.
Dinner.
Yes. So when you go to wedding, also anything is there, and somebody calls you to their house, invites you. So what do they usually do? They serve you dinner. Dinner pe invite karte hai, right? Mostly, and weddings also. Yes, dinner, right? So that's dinner. So what's supper then? Supper is also an evening meal. Supper is informal. Okay. Dinner kya hota hai? Formal hota hai. Okay. Dinner is a formal one and supper is an informal one. Okay. Yes. So informal meal. Okay. Evening meal. You can call that as supper. Clear?
Yes.
Informal. Okay. Yes. We have built a sand castle. So here, what do you think is the subject and the object? Can you figure out and tell me?
We.
We is
We,
subject.
subject, great.
Built
Have
verb.
built,
Will verb.
yes, have built is the verb. And a sand castle
And
is the
castle.
object. Object, great. Well done. Yes, now let's move on now. Here some sentences are there. I would like you to read out with me where you will find subject, verb, and object. Yes, please read out. Susan
Susan
has bought
has bought
a painting.
a painting.
Okay, bought is the V2 and V3. What is the V1 for bought? Base form क्या है बोलिए?
Bring.
No, base form is buy. Okay,
Buy.
pay attention. Bought में क्या है? I'm sorry. In bought, is there any R over here? R है यहाँ पर?
हाँ, by.
No. Yes. So buy bought होगा. Okay, यहाँ पर भी R नहीं है. Okay, so that's the difference. Whereas in bring, B-R-I-N-G, bring. Okay, bring का मतलब होता है लाना, right? Buy का मतलब होता है खरीदना. You pay the money and then you get it. Okay, so that's called buying. And bring is not buying. Okay, लाने को bring बोलते हैं. He brought me the book. Okay, whatever, bringing. Okay, bringing is different. All right, here money transaction is not going on in bringing. All right, so bring becomes brought. And here in bring, see, RR is there. So that's how you can figure out the difference between bring and brought. Okay, in bring, you have an R, and brought also you have an R. Okay, and in buy, you don't have an R, and bought also you don't have an R. All right, this is a tip to learn. Okay, is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Now let's move on. Now next one, Hannah
Hannah
is reading
is reading
her book.
her book.
The twins climbed
The twins climbed
the hill.
the hill.
James stroked
James stroked
the cat.
the cat.
Yes, what is stroked? Stroked means like you're patting the cat, okay? आप cat को ऐसे सहला रहे हैं, okay? Like, yes, you're patting or yes, so cuddling with the cat. No, cuddle is different. So stroking is आप जब सहलाते हैं cat को, right? So with your hands, okay, gently. So that's called as stroking, okay? Now next, mom is holding
Mom is holding
the baby.
the baby.
Mom is subject.
Mom is subject.
Yes, is holding verb.
Is holding verb.
The baby object.
The baby object.
Okay, now let's jump to the last one. You
You
yes, come on, read with me, along with me. You have forgotten
have forgotten
your umbrella.
your umbrella.
Okay, so here, see, pay attention to this word forgotten. Okay, what's the base form? Forget. Forget becomes forgot. I forgot to bring my maths textbook. Okay, forgot. Okay, so in one more way is there, British English or American English, I'm not sure about that, but forgotten. Okay, so you can use forgot also, or you can use instead of forgot up forgotten. Okay, double T and EN. Okay, you can use this also. Okay, for V2 and V3. Okay, V1 base form is forget. V2 and V3 are forgot or forgotten. तो आप forgot भी use कर सकते हैं, word forgotten भी use कर सकते हैं. Okay, both are correct. All right. Now, let's see what are direct and indirect objects. So, objects, okay, subjects and objects to humne abhi padha, right? We have studied just now. Now, objects are of two different types: direct object and the indirect object. So, let's find out what are direct and indirect objects. So, let's look at this sentence now. Dad bought James a bike. So here, a bike. This is the direct object, and James is the indirect object. Okay, so I'll write here. Where's my pencil? Pen. Okay, so bike is the direct object. Yes, and James is the indirect object. Let's try to find out how they have become the direct and indirect object over here. Some verbs have two objects. The direct object receives the action of the verb. So see over here, dad. What did dad bring? Tell me over here. किसके लिए लाया मैंने नहीं पूछा. Dad ने आखिर लाया क्या है? What did dad bring? Bought. Okay, verb. Yes, bike. Okay, so the direct object receives the action of the verb. Okay, so bought, कौन सी चीज लाई है? Okay, so वो है bike. Okay, so bought. So direct object receives the action of this verb. Okay, bought. Now, what is the indirect object then? The indirect object tells to whom or for whom the action is done. So can you see before the direct object, James, okay, James. So dad ने किसके लिए bike लाई है? For whom did dad bring the bike? James. James के लिए लाई है, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
So James becomes the indirect object. Who is the indirect object? जिसके लिए वो चीज लाई गई है, action. Okay, who for whom the action is done. Okay, yes. Now let's see another example over here. Like for example, I'll just give you a simple example over here. Father bought, or yes, you can say bought. Father bought us. Okay, father bought us a plate of biryani or a pack of biryani, whatever. So what is the direct and indirect object over here? Please pay attention. I'll read once again. Father bought us a plate of biryani, as biryani, a pack of biryani or a plate of biryani, whatever it is, a pack. So now tell me, what is the direct and indirect object? What did father bring? Biryani. Yes, biryani is the direct object because that's what father has bought. Okay, then for whom did that father bring biryani? For us, हमारे लिए, right? तो हम बन जाएंगे indirect object. जिसके लिए लाया गया है वो indirect object बनेंगे, और जो action verb का receive करता है उसे direct object कहते हैं. All right, so it's very easy because direct object usually we see it at the end. Okay, and direct object से पहले indirect object आता है. Okay, so indirect object comes before the direct object. So let's see over here. The bank lends people money. Yes, so over here, see, what is bank lending? What is the bank lending? Money. Yes, so that becomes the direct object. किसके लिए money lend कर रहे हैं? For whom? People. Yes, so here lends. Okay, the action of the verb is received by the direct object, money, and for whom it is lending process is done, action for the people. So people becomes the indirect object. Now same like that, Madison is making her doll a dress. So what is medicine making? क्या बना रही है medicine?
A
A
dress.
dress. Yes, so dress is the direct object. किसके लिए बना रही है? For whom is she making a dress? For her doll. Yes, so doll becomes the indirect object. So see over here, key point. The indirect object usually comes before the direct object. So this is a sentence. Where is the direct object? Sorry, indirect object before. Okay, indirect object direct object से पहले आता है. All right. Yes. So where were we? So have you understood what is direct object and indirect object?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sisters. I want you to respond.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So read out the sentences with me. I am writing
I am writing
grandma a letter.
grandma a letter.
I subject,
I subject.
verb am writing,
Verb I am writing.
grandma indirect object,
Grandma indirect object.
letter a letter direct object.
A letter direct object.
Yes. Andrew gave his dog. Andrew gave
Andrew
gave his dog
gave his dog a bone.
a bone.
A bone.
Okay. We left you some food.
We
We
left
left you.
some food.
Very good. Joshua is showing
Joshua is showing
us
us
his stamps.
his stamps.
Miss Lee found Alice
Miss Lee found Alice a
a
chair.
chair. All right. I want you to read out this. Yes, Sister Nurja, can you read out this whole page for me? Whole slide. Please read out.
She left, ma'am.
Okay, she's not there. Okay, Sister Amina, can you read out the direct and indirect object over here, please?
Okay, ma'am. Some verbs have two objects. The direct object receives the action of the verb. The indirect object tells to whom or for whom the action is done. Dad bought James a bike.
Okay, so in here, tell me which is the direct and which is the indirect object. Can you please tell me?
A bike, a bike is a direct object, and
Very good.
a bike is an indirect object.
No. First, what you said was right. Okay, a bike is direct object. James is indirect object. Very good.
मैम अपन कौन से भी उसमें ऑब्जेक्ट एडवर्ब तो समझने में मुश्किल हो रही है ऑब्जेक्ट कौन सा हो रहा है एडवर्ब और सेंटेंस में अपन कौन सा भी कहीं भी उसमें एडवर्ब कौन सा हो रहा वो सेंटेंसेस से पहचानना मुश्किल हो रहा मैम.
Yes, so for that also we have certain rules, right? So once you understand the rules, then it will be easy for you. Okay, usually see subject and object क्या होता है? What is subject and object? It can be noun, right? Usually the subject and object is noun. Okay, it can be name or person or animal or thing. Okay, so usually subjects and objects are what I'm saying, nouns. Okay.
जी.
Yes. Now see over here. So is it clear till here? Yes, I want sister to read. Yes, read out. Sister Shamim, please read out sentences. First two sentences, please read out. Okay, Sister Shamim is not there with us. Okay, Sister Bushra, please read out the sentences.
The bank lends people money. Medicine is making her doll a dress. I am writing Grandma a letter. Grandma is reading Diana a story. Andrew,
Diana. Okay,
Diana,
it's
story.
yes.
Andrew gave his dog a bone. We left you some food. Joshua is showing us his stamps. Miss Lee found Alice a chair. The
Yes, read
indirect,
out this also.
the indirect object usually comes before the direct object.
All right. So let's solve the exercise now. This then we will be able to understand. All right. So let's see over here. Exercise 1. Read the following sentences, then draw a line under the subjects and circle around the objects. Okay. So what we have to do? We have to underline the subjects and circle the objects in this exercise. First, I will do for you, and second, you will try to solve. Okay. Anne has drawn a panda. Okay. So I told you subject comes at the beginning of the sentence. So Anne is the subject over here. A panda is the object. So I'm circling the object. All right. Have you understood? I'm
Yes.
underlining the subject and I'm circling the object. Okay, next sentence. They are playing table tennis. Can you figure out what is the subject and the object?
They,
Object. Table tennis is
They,
object.
subject,
yes,
and
they
table
is
Subject.
subject. Table tennis is the object. Very good. Okay, yes. Because object हमेशा end में होता है. Okay, subject beginning of the sentence में होता है. All right, next. Little Kate knows the alphabet well.
Kate is our subject.
Yes, little Kate is the subject. And
Alphabet
what's
well,
the object then?
well.
Alphabet.
Well is the object.
The alphabet is the
Alphabet.
object. Okay. Yes,
Alphabet.
well is not the yes.
Adverb.
Well, object नहीं है. Yes. Yes, well adverb है. Very good. Dad,
Subject.
subject or the object? Subject. Object, what is the object over here? Dad bought a computer.
Computer.
A computer is the object. Very good. Now next, I'm
I
writing.
I am
Yes, I'm writing a letter.
a letter object.
Yes, I is the subject. I am is not the subject over here. Pay attention.
No, yes,
I
sorry.
और am दो अलग अलग words है. Okay, usually हम से जब हम स्कूल में थे हमसे हो जाती थी mistake. Okay, but yes, pay attention. Am
I'm
एक helping
verb.
verb है. Okay, yes,
Helping.
am is helping verb and I अलग है, pronoun है I. Yes, so I subject होगा and yes, and a letter is the object. Okay, just I. Not am. Okay, am writing is the verb over here. Now next one, birds have feathers. What's the subject over here?
Word, subject, feathers,
Bird.
object.
Very good. Excellent. And have is the verb over here. The workmen are building a house. Now what's the subject over here?
The workman.
Yes. The workman is the subject and her house is the object. Very good. Samantha has a pretty dog. What's the subject and the object over here? Samantha is the subject and a pretty doll. Okay, or just the doll is the object over here. Is it clear? Now next one, the children received one gift each. Now tell me what's the subject over here? Sister Safia, the children receive one gift each. What's the subject? Yes. Are you there? Oh, Sister Safia is not there. Sister Amina is there. I'm sorry. Sister Amina, tell me, the children received one gift each. What's the subject over here?
Children. The children.
And what's the object?
Object gift.
Very good. Next, do you know the answer? So tell me what's the subject in this sentence. Do you know the answer?
You. Do you is the subject. No,
Very
answer
good.
is the object.
वेरी गुड. डू को नहीं कंसिडर करेंगे. ओके, डू यहाँ पर क्या है? हेल्पिंग वर्ब है. ओके, यस. सो यू इज द सब्जेक्ट and the answer is the object. Clear? Last one is a little tricky. Okay, do you know the answer? Okay, so here in the middle you can see, okay, after the helping verb फिर हमारा subject आया है, because this is a question. Okay, it's not a statement. That's why it is started with a helping verb and not with the subject. So is it clear? You is the subject over here and the answer is the object over here.
मैम
Is it
डी
clear?
आंसर डी अल्फाबेट क्यों, खाली आंसर और अल्फाबेट क्यों नहीं हो सकता ऑब्जेक्ट?
Because हमने articles भी यहाँ consider कर रहे हैं. Okay, that's why. Okay, see, for example, अगर यहाँ पर the workman है, तो मैंने the workman को consider किया है, right? So along with the word, हम article को भी subject में consider करेंगे. All right? Subject and the object. A house, the house. All right? So that also will be considered. And this here. Okay, हम सिर्फ doll को consider कर रहे हैं. Okay, so pretty उसके साथ आया है. That's why we are taking that also. But here subject is only doll over here. Okay? Yes?
Okay,
Is this clear? Yes. Have you understood?
yes.
Now let's, yes. क्योंकि आर्टिकल अलग से नहीं है, राइट? इट्स अ डिफरेंट वर्ड बट स्टिल वो बता रहा है, राइट? द वर्कमैन, यानी कि हम स्पेसिफिक लोगों की बात कर रहे हैं. ओके, जब आप यूज करते हैं दैट मीन्स आप सिंगल की बात कर रहे हैं. अ पैंडा मीन्स एक पैंडा की बात हो रही है. सो इसलिए हमने उसको भी सर्कल किया, आर्टिकल को भी. एंड द वर्कमैन का मतलब है
वो भी
वो
एक ही
लोग.
आदमी.
यस, द वर्कमैन का मतलब है यहाँ आप कुछ लोगों को पॉइंट आउट कर रहे कि ये लोग. ओके, द हम कब यूज करते हैं? हम जब किसी चीज को बोल रहे, द एप्पल विच इज ऑन द टेबल इज माइन, यानी कि जो एप्पल टेबल पे रखा हुआ है वो मेरा है. वो जो एप्पल टेबल पे है, ओके, तो एक ही होगा शायद वहां पर, या दो हो गए. सो अगर आप बोल रहे हैं द एप्पल विच इज ऑन द टेबल इज माइन, यानी कि जो टेबल पे जो एप्पल है आप बता रहे हैं या आप बोल रहे हैं कि वो मेरा है. ओके, सो जब आप यूज करेंगे द एप्पल, ओके, जब आप नहीं यूज करेंगे अ एप्पल, क्योंकि आप एक एप्पल की तरफ इशारा नहीं कर रहे कि आप ये बोल रहे हैं, यू आर पॉइंटिंग आउट कि वो मेरा है. ओके, सो इसलिए आप स्पेसिफिक चीज बता रहे हैं, तो आपने द का यूज किया है. इज इट क्लियर?
ओके मैम.
Yes. Okay. Now let's move on to the next exercise. There are two objects in each sentence. Draw a line under the direct objects and circle around the indirect object. So in these sentences, you'll find here two objects. Okay, आपको direct and indirect object को figure out करना है, find out करना है, and you have to underline the direct objects and circle the indirect objects. So let's get started. Dad gave Dave a present. So what is the verb over here? Gave. So क्या दिया है? Present. So present becomes the a present object. Okay, which kind of object? Direct object. Okay, जिसने verb का action gave receive किया है. Okay, direct object is which receives the action of the verb. क्या दिया है? Present. So वो direct object बन जाएगा. Alright, किसको दिया है? For whom? Dad has given a present. Dave. So Dave becomes the IO, indirect object. Clear? Is it clear, sisters?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Now next you are going to try out. Mom is making the children a meal. Now tell me, is making यहाँ पर verb है. So क्या बना रही है मम्मा?
Meal.
Making. Meal. So meal is the,
Direct object.
oh, I made a mistake. Direct object को underline करना है, indirect object को circle करना है. All right. Now, yes, a meal is the direct object. And what is the indirect object? Who is receiving the meal now? Who is, yes, tell me, for whom the meal is being cooked? किसके लिए meal बना रही है मम्मा?
Children.
Children. Okay, so children बन जाएंगे indirect object. All right? Yes. Now next sentence. Sister Bushra, you try. Mr. Thomas bought them ice cream cones. So what? क्या लाया है? क्या खरीद के लाया है Thomas ने? बोलिए. What did Thomas bring? Buy. What did Mr. Thomas buy? Yes, ice cream cones. All right. So ice cream cones is the direct object. Okay. किसके लिए ice cream लाई है? उन लोगों के लिए. Okay. Bought them. So them is the indirect object. Next. I sent Anne a birthday card. Now tell me what's the subject, direct and indirect object over here.
Direct is a birthday card.
Very good. And for whom the card is being brought?
Anne.
Very good. Anne को भेजा है मैंने. So Anne indirect object हो जाए. Granny told us a story. So what's the direct object?
Story.
Yes, story is the direct object. किसको सुना रही थी Granny story? For
Us.
whom? Us. हमें सुना रही थी. So us becomes the indirect object. The waiter brought. Okay, brought यानी कि लाया है. Okay, brought the guest their drinks. Okay, यहाँ पर खरीदना नहीं है. Okay, brought. Bring becomes brought. Okay, so brought is लाना. So the waiter brought the guest their drinks. Now tell me what's the direct object? Waiter ने क्या लाया है? Waiter has bring drinks. Very good. Brought the drinks. And किसके लिए लाया है drinks?
The guests.
Very good. So the guest becomes the indirect object. Excellent. Can I get you a sandwich? क्या ला रहे हैं आप?
Sandwich.
Can I?
Direct object.
Sandwich. Okay. Sandwich direct object. किसके लिए ला रहे हैं?
You.
You. Very good. Can I get you a sandwich? मैं ला रही हूँ sandwich आपके लिए. Okay. You. The police officer showed us the way to the museum. So tell me what's the direct object over here? Okay, पहले बोलिए मुझे क्या दिखाया है आपको? Showed यहाँ पर verb है. क्या दिखा रहे police officer?
Museum.
What is the police officer showing?
Way.
Museum. तो यहाँ पर the museum is the direct object. अब किसको दिखा रहे हैं museum?
Us.
Us. Okay. So yes, us becomes the indirect object over here. So is it clear? Till here? Yes. Is it clear? Shall we move on?
Yes.
Okay. Now, let's move to the next part, that is positive and negative sentences. Next topic. Look here. Now we will see positive and negative sentences. A positive sentence tells you that something is so. Okay, for example, I am telling that she is having her breakfast. यानी कि आप कह रहे हैं कि वो खाना खा रही है. Okay, so the positive sentence tell us that something is so. Okay, कोई चीज कैसी है वो बताता है. Okay, like if I say she is not eating. Okay, if I say she is not eating, तो यहाँ पर disagreement बता रहा है. Okay, so when you're saying anything, okay, approval like kind of. Okay, so that is a positive sentence. And what is a negative sentence? जिसमें आप negative words use करते हैं. She is not eating. वो खा नहीं रही है. Okay, not over here is indication of a negative sentence. Okay, so negative sentence में आप negative words find करेंगे और negative verbs भी. Okay, so let's see a sentence that tells you that something is not so. Okay, so that's called a negative sentence, and it contains a negative word like not, never, no, no one, nobody, none. So all these are negative words. Pay attention. These are negative words. Now what are negative verbs? Negative verbs क्या है देखिए. Isn't. Okay, ये isn't क्या है? Contraction है. Is not. Is not का contraction. Short form क्या है? Isn't. Okay, is N apostrophe T. Okay, this is the contraction of is not. And cannot. What's the short form or contraction of cannot? Can't. Okay, so cannot is also a helping verb. हमने देखा था, do you remember? Helping verbs will, can, could, should, would. Yes, all these are helping verbs, right? So see, what are the negative verbs? VRBS. Isn't, can't, won't. Okay, won't. Okay, won't कैसे बना है? Will not बना है won't. Are you with me? Yes, are you listening?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so have you understood positive and negative sentence?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, positive sentence means you are agreeing. Okay, yes, like it's a yes. And negative sentence is a no. Like I am going to the wedding, or I am going to my friend's wedding. Okay, that's a positive sentence. I will not be going to my friend's wedding because I have another appointment at that time. Okay, so that's called a negative sentence. I will not be going, or I'll not be attending my friend's wedding. Okay, so that's a negative sentence. Now see, positive sentence versus negative sentence. Peter is running. Negative sentence, he is not walking. So what's the negative word over here? Not. Okay, word not को देखकर हमने figure out कर लिया कि ये negative sentence है. We should tell the truth. Positive sentence. We should never tell lies. Okay, so this is a negative sentence with a negative word called as never. Everyone is in the garden. Positive sentence. There is no one in the house. घर में कोई नहीं है. No one. Okay, so no one is denoting over here negative sentence. Everyone, sorry, the fridge is empty. Positive sentence. There is nothing in it. This is a negative sentence. Fridge में कुछ नहीं है. Nothing. Okay, so word nothing is denoting negative sentence. Okay, now see, it is very cloudy. Positive sentence. It isn't sunny. Okay, so here isn't is what? Negative verb. VRB verb. ये सारे negative words है. Okay, not, never, no one, and nothing. These are negative words. Okay, negative verbs. Sorry, words, and this is negative verb. Isn't. Okay, is a negative verb. Now see the next one. I have sold the last newspaper. Positive sentence. I have no newspapers left. So tell me, what's the negative word over here? कैसे पता
No.
चला कि no? Excellent.
No.
Someone has eaten all the cookies. Positive sentence. There are none in the bag. So how did you figure out that it's a negative one?
None
None.
is the negative
None.
sentence.
Very good. So till here it's clear, right?
Yes, ma'am.
I want somebody to read out positive and negative sentence. Who didn't get a chance? Please read out positive and negative sentence.
A positive sentence. A positive sentence tells you that something is so. A sentence that tells you something is not so is called a negative sentence. It contains a negative word like not, never, no, no one, nobody, none, or a negative verb like isn't or can't or
Can't.
won't.
Right. Now, Sister Noorjahan, read out positive and negative sentences.
Yes, ma'am. Positive sentence. Peter is running. Negative sentence. He is not walking. We should tell the truth. We should never tell lies. Everyone is in the garden. There is no one in the house. The fridge is
नहीं थी
empty.
वो ना कुछ वो बुखार रहा था.
There is nothing in it. It is very cloudy. It isn't sunny. I have sold the last newspaper. I have no newspapers left. Someone has eaten all the cookies. There are none in the bag.
Right.
मैम उसमें पॉजिटिव सेंटेंस उसमें सो
Write the dua. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. سبحانك اللهم
Subhanakallahumma
وبحمدك
wa bihamdika
أشهد أن لا إله
ashhadu an la ilaha
إلا أنت
illa anta
أستغفرك
astaghfiruka
وأتوب إليك.
wa atubu ilayk.
Thank you so much for your time. I'll see you in the next class, inshallah. Take care.